Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. My name is Joshua Mathew, and today I'm with Jalen Green. Jalen Green is a top recruit in basketball. He's aiming to play college basketball and hopefully the pros. How's it going, Jalen?
Everything's good. How are you?
I'm all right. So, how's summer going? How's AAU?
AU season's been going really well. Just playing with all my teammates and especially my friend Josh Christopher, very another high recruit. Just like having fun in general and getting ready for the regular season.
Oh, that's great to hear. So, when do you plan on committing to college?
Soon, probably in like a couple of months. But overall, I'm really excited to go to college.
Yeah. So you got college, and then one more step to becoming a pro.
Yes, sir. Can't wait.
That's great to hear. So today we're going to be talking about the pay gap between male and female athletes. So my first question to you is, why do you think the pay gap between male and female athletes are so high?
I think the pay gap between male and female athletes is high because a lot of people don't watch women's sports in general. There are like 12 NBA teams, WNBA teams, and many people can only name one or two of them at most. I think this is because they don't get the proper exposure like male athletes do. For example, the NBA signed a huge TV deal that was worth billions of dollars in order to air more games on television. Now, everyone with the screen can watch these games and cause more exposure, which causes more popularity and drives revenue for those teams. TV companies do not think they will get good ratings from airing women's sports, which will allow less people to watch their games, which leads to less revenue and less for women's salaries.
Wow, I haven't really thought of that point of view of how the broadcasters of the TVs roll in the players' salaries. That's a great point of view. So do you think female athletes should be paid the same as male athletes?
Um, I don't think they should be paid the same as male athletes. In general, female sports generates less money than male professional sports. If there is less revenue coming into their league, that means that there is less money going around for all of them, the female athletes. Just like any career, some make more than others. For example, two may be a doctor, but can have different salaries depending on how many patients they see, their location of where they work, and how good they are at their job. I think this relates to their gender pay gap due to the fact that male and females may play the same sport professionally, but based on their popularity and revenue, they can be paid differently. However, I do believe that female athletes should be paid the same percentage of revenue like male athletes do.
Yeah, and I still think that the female athletes would be paid less because they do make less revenue for each team. So, how can these teams diminish the pay gap between the male and female athletes?
I think they can diminish the pay gap by paying female athletes the same percentage of the total revenue like male athletes get paid. Although the salary would be still less than men's, it would be fair since they are getting the same amount relative to each team's revenue. For example, if a male team pays about 35% of the total revenue to their players, female athletes should be getting paid 35% as well.
All right. So, we've discussed how the pro teams can help diminish the pay gap. What are some ways that the male professional athletes can help female athletes get more compensation?
I think male professional athletes can help female athletes in this way by they bring a lot of status and popularity to the table. So, for example, me, I'm a high school athlete, but I have a lot of followers on several social media sites, and I'm very popular in that aspect. And I feel like I have more followers than some WNBA players I know. In saying that, because of male athletes having a huge amount of followers on social media, they can use their access in that to endorse their love for female athletics in general. This would allow more people to be aware of female sports, thus driving the revenue and their salary up.
All right. Yeah. So, speaking of the female athletes, do they have a responsibility to fight for their equal pay?
Yes, I think they have a responsibility to fight for their pay because it should be done because the people before them fought for their rights as well. But that being said, also they should also do it for the people following them, like the next generation of female athletes. Nothing will be accomplished if female athletes just complain about equal play. For example, Billie Jean King was a very famous tennis player who fought for women's rights in sports. Because of her work, she inspired many other female athletes after her. This will be a cycle for athletes to follow until they get what they deserve. If the athletes keep doing this, over time, everything will get better.
Yeah, so I think we have come a far way since Billie Jean King has helped female athletes. But how far do you think female athletes today should go to fight for their right for equal pay?
I think female athletes should go as far as they can. I think that if they boycott games, they can quickly get what they deserve. Once they boycott, the professional women's teams will be forced to pay more in order to get them back on the field or the court. Without the players, none of the revenue can come in for their respective leagues.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I really like your points. I really agree with the fact that how you believe that the female teams make less than the male teams. I think this really goes into the fact of how much they get paid individually. But I also want to thank you for coming along. I really liked your answers, and I hope the season goes very well for you.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
You too.